I'm kind of from around here, you know. I lived in Euless, which is in between Dallas, you know where it is. They have everything that they do here, only it's just, you know, kind of 5 years later. It's real quiet. There's not a lot going on. It's kind of a sheltered place to grow up, I think, you know. I think growing up in the city here, life is much more real. In Euless was kind of sheltered. You know, I hadn't been exposed to a lot of things like that. I just, you know, I knew about tattoos and all that, but it wasn't until I started hanging out in Dallas that I saw some kids, you know, and, you know, I just thought it was cool, you know, and I saw, like, in Details magazine, you know, a lot of the cool people, you know, with tattoos, and I kind of got into it that way. Once I got my first tattoo, I realized that it was a whole deeper thing to it. And it became, I consider myself a collector of custom wearable art, if you will. You know, some people might call me a living canvas. Others might say that, you know, I'm like a walking museum if you look at me, you know what I mean? It's just, and these are the pieces that are on display.
How you doing?
Hey, good to see you.
That's right. Good to see you. Come on in. Find the place all right?
Yeah.
Cool. Who was it that recommended you? Steve. We did good work on Steve.
I saw that. And
You like that?
pretty much blown away, you know.
Cool.
So,
Well, come on over here
what's
for a
next,
second.
Steve?
Now, you sure you want to go ahead and do this?
Yeah.
Cool.
I've been
Well, let me
thinking
show
about
you
it for a
some of the
while.
stuff that we've done before.
Okay. You know, I'm a big fan of studying other cultures and things like that. And if you look at other cultures, especially tribal cultures, you know, that kind of was an influence for me, neo-tribalism. And, you know, I was first inspired by a lot of that, and I really respect those cultures where, you know, it's a rite of passage, it's a ritualistic, you know, like I said, rite of passage. You know, when a boy becomes a man in some cultures, they'll be scarred or pierced, and for me it was within myself kind of, you know, a growing experience in that way.
It's $500.
Right, as we discussed.
Cool.
Okay. Well, that's not a problem. Yeah, I got it. I assume you want cash.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course. All right, so it's all there. Cool.
1. Fantastic.
All right. My ideas were simply about the size of the scar and the location, and I had been thinking
Right there on the
maybe
shoulder.
some right here because
Yeah,
I've got
look
the
at
pistol,
that.
Right.
Oh, that'll be great,
So I don't
man.
know if you even have this pistol, but maybe something similar, or maybe
Yeah,
like
the
this,
38 special looks very
Right.
close to that. I think that's a police special. Yeah, that'll be
So-
great. Absolutely.
so, you know, right
Absolutely.
there. The piercings, after a while, for me, it's become kind of old hat. You know, I'm not really about that anymore. You know, I've moved on, and I think I've grown as a person. It's time for the new deal. You know, it's the new millennium. It's time to up the ante. It's time to raise the bar. And piercings for me, it's no longer a viable expression of my anger. And the next stage of my inner growth, which is reflected maybe by the way I've grown on the outside, is to get scarification through what's the ultimate piercing but a bullet wound. And what else is there after you've had everything pierced, after you've been, you know, when you've been tattooed all over and you've been pierced all over, what's next? You know, what is the next form of body modification that really means anything, that says anything, and it's getting shot?
What'll happen is going through here, it'll pierce your pectoralis,
Right.
and it'll come out in your lats.
Okay.
Now you've got a little bit right under there. You can feel that?
Right.
That's the thinnest part of that muscle. So
Okay.
you won't lose. I don't think you're going to lose any mobility.
Okay.
You might lose a little bit during rehab and whatnot. I'd recommend though that if you're right-handed, we should do it in the left side. I'm hoping you're right-handed.
right-handed.
Perfect.
Right. I kind of like what you did with Steve.
Steve was a little bit heavier. I think
Yeah.
we used a Magnum on him. He wanted to be able to really talk it up.
Right.
You're a little bit slighter. That doesn't mean anything. Except for I'd probably recommend a 9mm or a 38 special. It's still going to give you a good blowout scar on the back, but it isn't going to do all the damage going through. The key thing to remember is the bullet's design is to expand and stop in the body. We want it to go right through it.
It doesn't matter who did it, whether if I had gotten shot for real in a crossfire of a gang shooting, or if I went and paid somebody to shoot me. It doesn't matter because metaphorically, I am being shot, I am being attacked, if you will, by the world around me, and this is my statement. You know, this is my nonviolent protest. And some people might say, well, getting shot is violent, but it's not violent if it's to yourself. You know what I mean?
There is going to be a significant amount of pain. If we use if we were going to use a 22 or something like that, those don't hurt a whole lot. And it's going to burn a little bit.
Right.
You ready to do this?
Why is it going to burn?
That's just a sensation that usually comes with the bullet wound.
Okay.
It's not a lot different than the tattoos.
Right.
It's just kind of
that's not even a factor for me. Is the pain? You know. That's you know, I've been living in pain my whole life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You ready to do this?
I'm ready.
You want to do it?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay. Let me close the door.
Okay. Well, I had my own ideas about what I wanted and what to me was appropriate and within the context of my inner struggle, and what, you know, is realistic. I mean, you know, you can't just get shot in the head. You know, I mean, that would be the ultimate, but really, you know, a bullet wound in my forehead would really be the ultimate statement. But realistically, I mean, I don't think that could be done. Maybe it could be, but I don't know. I don't think it could be done.
Now I'm going to show you some of the stuff that we're going to use on you.
All right.
This is the 38 round. This is what we're going to use on you. It's a hollow point bullet. That way, when it enters, it's going to leave a nice entry point. It expands just a little bit, then it exits, and it tears some of your flesh so you've got good scarring. Okay. If we use a full-on full metal jacket, it's just going to puncture you and go out the other side and not leave a good thing on the back side.
Right. I definitely want, you know, the hollow point is what.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That'll leave with nice scarring on the back. It'll take a nice big chunk as it's coming out the backside. Okay. It also gives you a nice thing to talk about, because when we get done with this, you're going to want to tell people, you know, what they use on it. I can get you one. I can get you one after this. Yeah. See, because after we do it, I got to get you. Booker's going to be outside, and we're going to put you right into the ambulance, and he's going to take you to the hospital. I was thinking I'd like to have a
sure.
I can dig it out.
Necklace or something.
Absolutely, it's going to be in that. It's going to be in that sandbag. Okay, yeah, that's a great idea. Sure. Now, what I recommend is that we're going to put on earring protection and eye protection when we put you down in the chair. All right. And then we're going to use the 38 revolver here. Okay. You know, I feel that I'm hunted. I feel that I am, you know, I am the hunted man, and I feel that I have been shot down by society many times. As many oppressed peoples in the world, I relate to them.
But yeah, but you see, the oppressed peoples, they were born that way. You kind of did this to yourself.
Yeah, no. One time I was watching TV and I saw a documentary, and it was talking about, you know, life in prison and what it was like to live your life as a lifer in prison for life. I identified with these people. You know, these people are not criminals. They are victims of society. You know, the crime has been committed against them, whether it was in their youth or not. And that's how I feel. I feel that I have been truly oppressed in my life, and it's maybe not the same as some other people, but it is the same. I consider myself a lifer. Only society is my prison. And, you know, what happens if you try to break out of prison? You might get shot.
Well, what I'm going to do is basically put on minor gear to protect myself. This is from any splatterage. It's mostly just preventative. Nothing normally ever happens. But you've got to get prepared for it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be right. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with what we're doing or even how we're doing it. But that's a risk you take. I mean, when you're pioneering a new field, you're going to get some gaff from people. That's just a fact. But I think doing this will help. You know, I think it'll bring more people to the business, but also it'll show that, well, I'm not out to hurt anybody. I'm not out to injure anybody. That's not it. The end result is what we're trying to complete, which is simply body art. Something to talk about means, how did you do that? Well, we did it with a firearm. That's all.
Just like, you know, a painter might use a paintbrush, all right? Or, you know, a sculptor uses clay. That's the medium. Well, here the medium is simply a firearm. I think I'd rather not use hearing protection if that's all right, just because I'd like it to be as real as possible.
Okay.
You know?
That's your choice. That
Okay.
doesn't bother me any.
Yeah. If you need me to sign something or whatever, you know, hearing damage, I'm not, you know, whatever.
No, I'm not concerned about that at all. It's not going to make a difference whether or not we sign something or not, because I'm shooting you. I'm shooting you with a gun.
Yeah.
And right now, that's not recognized as an art form, but that's going to change.
That's
Steve.
going to change. Do you want me to put these on right now?
You can just hold on to them for a moment. And then we're going to put the towel around you like this.
Is there going to be a lot of bleeding right away, or?
No, there shouldn't be. The exit wound is going to be a little bit bloody, but not too bad. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put our gear on. Go ahead and put your eye protection on.
Okay.
I'm just going to make a few final adjustments on you here. Why don't we put your arm up like that? There. That's good. And I just want you to relax, okay? This will be over very quickly, but take a few breaths, get relaxed. You okay?
Yeah.
All right? Relax. Why don't you go ahead and pick your elbow up? There you go, just like that.
All right.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the count of 3.
Okay.
Okay? All right?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Ready?
Give me a second. Wait.
Okay. Ready? 1. You're all right. You're all right. It's okay. It's okay. Look at me. Listen to me. You're all right. You're okay.
God damn it! Fuck!
You're gonna be okay. You're okay though. You're okay. Let's go. We're gonna get you out. We're gonna get you out. Okay?
How do you feel, Jerome? How do you feel, Jerome? How do you feel?
I'm gonna need a minute. Oh, God damn.
What's up, Booker? What you doing? You're right. You're all right, man.
Want your goggles back?
Yeah, that'd be cool. When you can, man. When you can.
So what's going to happen to him out there?
He's fine, man. They're gonna take him to the hospital and hook him all up. They'll take care of his pain. They'll put some stuff on it. Booker's good. It's right down the street, so he'll be. He's part of everything that we're doing. I mean, when we've completed putting the artwork on our man, then Booker takes care of him, professionally takes him to the hospital so he's all properly taken care of. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll have a nice scar. He'll have a nice scar.
That's what he's looking for.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hang on, we're here now. I don't really care if people like them or not. I never, did it for those reasons, and some people like them, some people don't. But it kind of annoys me when people like it because, You know, I don't know, they don't see it for what it is. You know, this is not a fashion for me. You know, it's not about vanity or looks or anything. I actually hope, though, to get some modeling gigs from maybe this. If they find, I'm gonna try to get an agent. I mean, look at me. You know, put me in front of a camera. What do you got? You know,